Hello and welcome back to We Seek Summits. And one of the reasons that we call it We Seek Summits is because we're always striving for more and seeking for more. And one of those main areas is in the area of our health and well-being. And we don't want to be constantly bogged down by just icky stuff that's robbing us of our joy and impeding our ministry. So to care for our family on a daily and preventative basis, one of the many things we do, we've got like a whole morning routine, is pickled garlic. Now I have seen this in some stores, but it is pretty easy and pretty cheap to make it yourself. You can do it in small batches, just kind of if you get a couple cloves, you can make a small amount. Or I have started buying the very large one and doing a whole bunch at once that just sit in my cupboard. This is not organic. I would always prefer organic if I can find it, but to save myself peeling all of these mini cloves, I'll make this concession. So this is the finished product and it's easy, and here's what we're gonna do. So garlic has many fantastic antibacterial properties for you. Actually all the onion family, the onions and scallions and shallots and garlic. So as often as you can get it raw, great. And I have chewed raw garlic when I was fighting a particular sore throat thing. I chewed raw garlic with cayenne and honey, and it was not pleasant, but it totally did the job. And I found that by pickling it, it actually draws out a lot of that bitterness, and what you get is really sweet garlic, plus you get all the benefits of the pickling flavor, plus you get the cider vinegar benefits as well. So I've got my jars ready, and I have gone ahead and boiled. If they're not clean, go ahead and clean them first. And then I've boiled quite a few variety of sizes, because what I'm going to see how many kind of fit in and make it up from there. I also like doing these smaller ones because I totally travel with my pickled garlic. I will actually put this in a reusable Ziploc bag and seal it up and take this in my luggage, and I eat them as I'm traveling, because who wants to get sick when they're traveling? So y'all might call me crazy. I know, I travel with garlic. But so I'll do a variety of sizes, because like we go through these as a family. Maybe I want to give one away. So I've got all my bottles back here. And then the pickling liquid is really easy. It is equal parts of water and cider vinegar. And I love the cider vinegar because of all of its unique benefits. Always get raw and unfiltered with the mother in it if you still can, and you can strain that mother out, but the mother is the vinegaring agent, so you get all those benefits from the cider vinegar. You could also use white wine vinegar or even like rice wine vinegar if you want, but I usually do this. And score, I found this awesome whole huge gallon worth for only 12 bucks at Sprouts on sale, and which is the same price as 2 of the quart. So if you ever see a large thing, go ahead and stock up on it, because we use it a lot. I have water, so I'm going to start off with 2 cups of water and kind of see how much my garlic fills, and I can always make more. Give this a good shake, because I want the goobers. And what I usually do is I don't really cook from this. Like I'll pour it off into, and I have another jar that I use daily, and then I'll just store this down in my pantry. But since I'm going to be using a lot of it today. Okay, so it's brand new. Here we go. So basically it's just a 1-to-1 ratio. So it's easy to figure out. If you're doing this is about 2 cups worth, and if it's full of garlic, you can imagine there's maybe about a cup worth of space in here. So if I was going to do just one amount, I would make about a cup of liquid total, and you can kind of judge it from there. It's, for me, I haven't gotten it down to exact science, mostly because I just don't know how much is in here. But I'm going to start with 2 cups of each, so it's 4 cups total. And I'm measuring, and okay, 2 cups of each. Here we go. I'm going to go ahead and throw in some salt. And this is about a teaspoon per 2 cups. So I'm going to do about 2 teaspoons. Okay? You could also throw in just a little bit of sugar if you wanted, but it's not necessary. All right, I still have the hot water, the boiling water, which I'm going to reuse. So I'm leaving that on. And I'm going to get, okay, so there is my pickling liquid, and I'm going to get that warming up. You also, I have another glass container that if you're just doing a small amount, you can just do this in the microwave really quickly. It's really easy. You boil your jar in a small pot, pour the stuff in, pour the vinegar on, seal it, boil it back in the jar, and then you've done just a little bit, and it doesn't take you very long at all. Obviously doing it this way, I've got a lot more today. So now I'm going to measure out all my jars. This garlic I have already sorted through. I pulled out any of the yucky ones. I've also looked for some of them still have a little bit of the papers on them, so I pulled it out. So I've already cleaned all these, but definitely as I'm going through, I'm looking for any ones that have particular bad spots that I don't like. All right, and I'm just going to take a few moments and fill these up. Okay, so I have used all my variety size jars and I've kind of got them all full, so I didn't need a couple of these. So I'll just put those back for another time. Also, this is a jar that I had bought something else, and instead of throwing in the recycle bin, it fits the same mason jar lid, so I'm reusing and recycling one of these jars, or I'll totally save these jars for like giving away kombucha or something. So yeah, so I've got my variety of sizes here, and as you notice, I've filled them all not quite to the top. You do want to leave room on top. I used to kind of cram them full because I'm like, get more garlic in there, but the way the liquid goes, you need some space at the top because it's going to release some gases and stuff. Okay, so making them all about level. They're all quite full. Now, there are a variety of ways to do it. You could just pour your pickling juice in this. It'll be like this one. It'll be great to go. Or this is an opportunity to add any other flavorings that you want. My daughter happens to love turmeric in her garlic. She calls it her golden garlic. And the first time I did it, I put way too much in. There was a whole bunch at the bottom, but definitely a little bit. So I'm going to make one of these especially for her. So I'm just tapping in, that was about maybe half a teaspoon of turmeric, and it'll turn the whole thing golden. You could also think of how you would flavor other things. So if you had any dill, you could do that. It's not the season for dill. Okra, I love okra, and actually that was one of the ways that I discovered this. So when I was pickling okra, I threw some garlic in there to flavor the okra, and then I ate the garlic and I was like, this is delicious. So we started doing garlic by itself. But I'll do okra with some oregano leaves and some paprika or a little cayenne. So I'm going to do one like that. I'm going to sprinkle some oregano in. And dried oregano, you kind of rub it between your fingers. It sort of re-warms or brings out the essential oils a little bit more. So I'll do the oregano in there and some paprika. And you can try your own, but mostly I just do these plain. But please, by all means, experiment and then tell me what you do, because you know I always like more tips. So a little paprika. This is going to be kind of a southern flavor here. Yeah, and have fun with it. Okay, so, oh, and then I forgot to say, check. Okay, the pickling liquid's still warming. I forgot to say that you can definitely combine with other things. So, for instance, we got a small harvest of pickles from our garden this year. I'm learning to garden. I don't do it very well, but we got a small harvest of the little baby gherkin pickles. So I put them all in a jar. I had a couple okra, so I threw those in. But then I went ahead and bust open a head of garlic that I had, and I used that to fill all the spaces. So when I open this up, we've got our daily garlic, but then also pickles. So that's a great way. Just any other vegetables that you're pickling, throw some garlic in. Or you can see there was a little bit of dill. I threw some dill in there. So it's another great way that you don't have to have a whole jar. You can just add some to what you're already pickling. Like I said, they fill spaces really well. Okay, I'm going to check our pickling liquid and see if it's ready. Okay, we're back. My liquid has come to a boil and it is ready to go. Whew, hot, hot. All right, give this just a quick little whisk. Make sure that all that salt is dissolved. Now it is awkward pouring from this, so what I'm going to do is carefully pour it back into my measuring cup here, because you can see how it's kind of dribbling all over. And then I'll be able to pour this better over my garlic. So one of the reasons that we clean our bottles first and we bring this to a boil is to kill any harmful bacteria. That harmful bacteria is the enemy of pickling and fermenting. We want the good bacteria, but not the harmful. So it looks like I've actually not estimated well, and I have not made enough of my liquid. So I'm just going to fill what I can, and then I'll warm up some more. Okay. Not too bad on the garlic, but little air bubbles do kind of hide in here. So I'll give a little tip tap to get all those air bubbles out. And then I'm filling the liquid so that the liquid is just covering the garlic, but it's still within about 1/4 of an inch or so of the top. Give a little space. All right, we'll finish this up. Okay. Let's see. A little more there. There. We'll do the little one. Yeah. Should have enough. Let's see. I might have enough for this big one here. There we go. Oh, maybe just enough for this last little one. Let's try it. Perfect. So I was off just a little bit, so I'm going to make like another 1/2 cup for this one. But I got all these done. Then grab your lids. And with the lids, I also boiled these in the water. You want to make sure that you're using new inserts. Once they've been used for pickling, then they cannot be used for pickling again. It could ruin, or the seal could be ruined. You can definitely use them like if you're just storing stuff in the fridge, but make sure that it's all clean and dry right there. Also make sure that the lip of your jar, and this is a clean paper towel, make sure the lip of your jar is all clean and dry, because again, anything that's on there, bacteria, snug that on. I also wipe all the water, let's wipe all the water off, and tighten it down. Come on. All right, tighten it on. While I'm doing this, I'm gonna get my water back on to boil. Because once all the lids are on as tight as you can get them, then we're going to throw them back in to boil or under the water for about 10 minutes. And then it's going to make sure that all the bacteria is killed. It's going to make sure that this gets hot enough to pull that seal vacuum so that the pickling will actually happen well and you can store it safely. The key, safety. All right, so I'm going to get all the lids on. And then I usually kind of do, I've got my pot, I'm usually doing batches of about the same size jars. All right, let me get all my lids on and then we'll be ready. Okay, they are ready to go. Let me check the water. All right, the water is just starting. So at first I was trying to do these things with some tongs that I have, and that was not working well, and it slipped and water would splash, and it's just not safe. So go ahead and get the little rubber clampers. You can find them at grocery stores, and just for safety purposes, I highly recommend these. So grab your bottles, clamp down on the lid, and obviously this is real secure, and then drop them in the water. Do anticipate that the more jars you put in, the higher the water is going to rise, so you don't want your pot too full at first. Because when you put all the jars in, then the water is going to come up over because you've displaced them. And I'm going to go ahead and put the little ones in. I'm going to make a little bit more liquid for this one, and what I said is I'll probably do my quick microwave one just because it's faster. Pour it over, get the lid on this, get it in the pot. That's going to come to a boil. You want it to boil for about 10 minutes. And yes, they'll make noise. They're going to kind of rattle around. You can turn the heat down a little bit so it's not a rolling boil. It's just simmering. Set a timer for 10 minutes. Pull them out when you're done. Let them cool. You'll know that they're sealed when the top kind of goes and the top goes concave. You could even take this outer ring off if you wanted, just to make sure. Write the date on them and store them in your pantry for at least a month. Give it a good month for all the vinegar to do its work. And then just eat and, open, eat, and enjoy. Thank you very much, and I hope you all really Enjoy this recipe. I hope you find it easy to do and a great way to incorporate into your daily routine, again, for preventative health. That's what we're after. Or then definitely upping the usage if you're fighting something. So thank you all so much. I'm going to finish up.